Gonna pull a gun?
He's gonna shoot himself?
Wow. Maybe we could have done that before we got our fleets all in a, you know. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with the penultimate arc of Legend of the Galactic Heroes Gaiden. But we are also now entering the longest arc of, what are we in, the first season, I think? The first season of Gaiden. We're not even in the show yet.
No. That's 100 and some episodes, right?
Yeah. But we are in the, whatever season this arc takes place in, this is the equivalency of a Spiral Labyrinth in episode length. Because you remember, that was the longest solid story that we spent with one character. Technically, in the way that we've been watching, chronological order, it's been kind of one long Reinhardt story, too. It's just with micro arcs of what the focus has been on.
Yeah.
Alright, to the board, though. I, of course, have my change log. Let's see, I have added Ulrich Kessler.
Yeah.
I added a red line connecting Gerhard von Steger to Moritz von Hasse. He might be Haas, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I added a red line connecting Johann Gotthold von Bertz and Gerhard von Steger. I marked Johann Gotthold von Bertz as dead. Marked Gerhard von Steger as arrested. And marked Moritz von Haas as arrested.
Former cadet. For the sin of being colorblind. Which you would think in the far future of this, which we said was the 30... in the 28th century or something like that, they could easily correct that, right? With gene therapy or something.
I mean, okay, let's have a conversation about this. Look, I don't have that many notes. I have one note which touched on, I think, probably the least thing you could talk about in the episode. But they do talk a lot about discrimination and picking up the weak and not keeping yourself weak. But also, of course, the longer conversation about genetic impurity and whatnot.
Yeah.
And to your argument of, it's the future, can't they fix this shit? They could, if maybe they wanted to.
But clearly they don't want to.
That's what I'm saying. If they wanted to, they implemented a whole genetic purity, or I can't remember what it was called, probably in my timeline, but my timeline is so fucking huge. Oh, hold on. It's actually, I think, the second one. Kaiser Rudolph implemented policies to eliminate the weak... No, sorry. I thought it had a name, the policy. No. It's not in my timeline, but that was UC3... Sorry, Imperial Year 9, in the 9th year of his reign. But, you know, the idea being that they could have if they wanted to, but they don't, so they didn't. And by that, I really, what I mean is that they probably haven't been, like, doing medical research to determine how, because if you've already said, we'll just get rid of people like that, then you're kind of wasting time trying to solve a thing when the moment you diagnose them, they're going to be gone.
In this case, they lost a very talented cadet that could have been a good officer, right?
Well, he was number one in his class.
Yeah.
That was a thing I was thinking about taking a note for, but for some reason I didn't, because I couldn't ascertain if it was actually happening or if it was just camera focus. Gerhard gets led out of the school, and he's a man who has committed at least one murder, and nobody says a thing. And then Moritz gets let out, and everybody's talking about colorblindness.
Yeah. That's a scandalous thing, right? Murder. Well, I guess murder among nobles is not that rare. I guess. I mean, they do have kind of not legalized murder because dueling is not. It's actually the opposite, in fact. So that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
no, that's what I'm saying though, is that they saw the genetic abnormality as worse than the man who committed murder and tried to frame somebody.
Yeah. Who was ostensibly their commander and head teacher, right?
Well, here's the thing. I've got a point. The only thing I've actually written about that kind of touches on that, but I wanted to go to a different point first while I still remember. And God, it's already trying to fly out of my head. Oh, damn it, I've already forgotten. I was holding on to it and it kept...
Sorry about that.
God, no, it's, because there's like 4 main points about the episode. Oh, God. Oh, sorry, now I remember. The element of, God, I can't remember who says it, to Reinhard or Siegfried. Probably Siegfried. Of that it's not so much the nobility that would fight against what Reinhardt is trying to do. It's more so the lower people that are trying to make minuscule changes to succeed that are against major reform.
That's an interesting take.
I thought it was it was a pretty good one, I thought, because I could see it. Like, if you are trying your damnedest to get ahead in the system, and everything you've got is beholden on the rules operating the way that they do, you are the one who's most likely to be fucked by a reformation.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're playing a game and someone's like you're playing D&D and someone's like, what if we change the falling rules? And you're like, I'm literally a hulking hurler. All the damage I do is based on people being thrown. We change the falling rules, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, that is true, but one could argue it depends on. Well, I mean, perception versus reality plays in, because the idea is, it's a devil you know versus devil you don't, right? I know the system how it works. I may not like it, but I know how to do it, and everybody's trying to maybe game the system a little bit, and they feel hopefully their own niche, right? Versus if you change the rules, it's like, how do I operate in this new system? Even if you say to me, this is where I could do better in this new system, right?
I'm trying to think of an example of a long-term planner in anime, because it's the difference between being somebody who has like developed a plan from a very young age on how to succeed and is implementing it, versus someone, say, like how we used to say Char was in Origin. Somebody who didn't plan so much, is just like found good situations and then played them when they were in them. Somebody in a
situation,
somebody in like a reformation situation could play out the changes to their best interests, whereas somebody who's made a plan for a long time, because the Empire's been this way for like 700 years or whatever, or 400 years, it's not going to change. These plans are infallible, or immutable rather. And then suddenly someone comes along and changes everything and fucks it all up, and they're good at long-term planning, not at in the moment shit. They're going to get all fucked up. They're going to fight you on this, even if the change is more beneficial, because it doesn't fit the plan.
Yeah. Oh, and also I think it's, when you talk about stuff like we're talking about, it's also rather easy to convince people that even when they're screwed, if you change things around, the people that are unworthy will either be a competition or be able to overcome them. Like, oh, I don't have any. Maybe I'm poor, but I don't have any genetic defects. But that guy who's colorblind, all of a sudden he gets a shot. Why does he deserve it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes more towards the very real aspect of, I had to have a hard time to succeed, so you should have a hard time to succeed. modern day. I can't think of any specific examples off the top of my head, but it's very much I had to pay my school debts. How dare you
Hmm.
get a handout from the government?
Yeah. Versus the other kind of thing is like, because I had a hard time, I don't want other people to suffer for why I to suffer, right?
Yeah, why
So I'm going to
didn't
help them
I
out.
get this free pass?
Yeah.
If I didn't get a free pass, you don't get a free pass.
Hmm. Of course, the answer to that is, well, because nobody was fighting, neither you or someone else wasn't fighting for you to get that free pass, right? Or people were working at it, but it didn't come into fruition to help you. That shouldn't stop someone else from getting it because it's an ongoing process, right? But of course, the person's like, yeah, but that doesn't feel fair, right? What it's we talked about in D&D, right? It's what is fair versus what it feels fair, right?
I
It
don't
is
know.
fair
I
to help
was
people.
I was thinking more towards the Babylon 5 quote of the universe would be horrible if everything was fair.
Yeah.
Because to know that you are where you deserve to be because it's fair.
Yeah, that you deserve whatever lot you get because the universe is fair, not you know. But we impart on the universe a sense of fairness, things we like to see, and what we think it's right and correct. So if it was fair before that you would try to pay your way through college and pay that back because that's the way you're supposed to do it, and then someone else doesn't have to, then that feels unfair, even though the reality is there was a time where a lot of colleges were not practically free, but they were pretty cheap. Things were changed so that people would have to take loans, which jacked up the prices, so that became the new um the new reality that you grew up in, right? And so
I mean, there's a
bring
lot of
yeah,
things that people could get
yeah,
all jacked up about. Like, what if the United States tomorrow adopted universal health care, right? But just yesterday, your mother died because she couldn't afford to pay her medical bills. You
yeah.
would be fucked up about, what do you mean, these people? My mother's dead, you know? There's a lot of shit out there that wouldn't seem fair that people would rally
Mhm.
against because of personal beliefs
Yeah.
or personal hurt. Yeah, like I said, I only note that I really took was about the lesser of all the concerns that were on the table, which thankfully we touched on a little bit here, which is one consideration that I thought was entertaining is the comparison of our Econia episodes to the Academy we were just in. Both featured superior officers guilty of a crime, both also included pointing guns at them. In the Alliance, we had to go through a whole tribunal just to dislodge the guilty party, due to his say-so being stronger than Yang's evidence. We also had to hold him at prisoner-assisted gunpoint for days on end, whereas Reinhardt, in a very similar position, simply has the superior arrested and taken away.
I mean, well, here's the thing. And there's a question of authority, right? And if Yang had been military police, like his job was to investigate these things and arrest people, I think he could have just gone and arrest this guy. It's like, yeah, I have the evidence, boom, there it is. Remember that even though they were temporary officers, they were given the job of investigating the murders. So, you know,
Arguably, Yang was third in charge of a prison.
yeah. So he was under the command of this guy. So and there was already a mutiny and all that.
Well, I
So
meant
the
more so that
situation,
he was in the rank structure of the authority of
yeah,
somebody whose job it is to handle the unlawful.
yeah. But his job wasn't to arrest a superior for. I mean, technically it was, but only in extreme cases, which he has to prove. Otherwise, it's insubordination. Uh, Reinhardt's job was to investigate the murder and find the murderer, and he did. So now how does his boss then feels about that? I think that's where we're gonna get another transfer because it costs too
Well, I
much
mean,
trouble for
that's why I
mediation.
was thinking
Yeah.
before we got the episode that like laid out all the events. That was why my guess was that we never got the guy's name. The guy who was in charge of the military police, I thought he was going to be in on it because I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be related again to the black market stuff, which was
Hmm.
just the ruse.
Yeah. So there you have it. And So he actually that was a job to investigate, right? But I'm guessing that we might either get the narrator to tell us, or we might even have a brief scene where the guy goes like, "Oh yeah, thank you for being here in this assignment. Now you got to go." Like, oh, but like, you got to go because you basically embarrassed me. You arrested the commandant of the of the academy,
Well,
which
I mean,
makes
the thing
everybody
is
look
that
bad.
Steger was on his way to retirement. They start the
Yeah.
entire arc with that. So,
Still, there's a difference between this guy retired under nebulous restrictions and an arrest for murder,
no, I
a
mean, I
very public
understand
arrest.
that. I'm saying he was on his way out no matter what.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, I mean, either way, we're starting a new arc today,
Mhm.
and they didn't cover last episode what happens to them after
Yeah.
those events.
Like,
So,
this is the end. Not really, but
it can't be the end. We haven't even started the show yet.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't mean that like
No, I mean,
the today, right now thing. I mean, like, we haven't started the show proper.
so how many episodes is this long arc? 8, 12, 15?
Let's see. I've got the watch order. We are scrolled up. That was stuff we've already seen. We are going through episodes 13 through 24. So 11.
7, let me.
Yep, we have this, and then the next arc, a movie, another arc, a movie, and then the main show.
Wow. Got a lot to
So
cover.
this is going to be 100 billion stars, 100 billion lights, which is this longer arc. Then we have the third. Well, I'm not going to say those names. Sorry. Well, I just realized some of these are.
Spoiler.
Well, I don't know if we could. I don't know. Can you call the name of an arc a spoiler? I think in this case, this specific arc name might be, but
Let me guess. Admiral such and such.
oh no, nothing like
Horseman.
nothing to that degree. It's the name of a fight. Like obviously, I think
Okay.
we can all guess there's going to be fights happening here,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
I don't know if I should give away the name of a fight specifically because something might happen in this arc that would lead to that, and it'd be like that'd be giving the game away.
Yeah.
So that'll just have to sit in my back pocket the same way that when I'm making the schedule and I'm like
Mhm.
putting down episode names like 2 weeks in advance of what we're watching. Like, oh well, shit, wish I didn't know that. Anyway.
There you have it.
All right, well, I guess that being that, let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Let me adjust the audio because I'm hearing you and the thing at the same time. So
Well, that's what I talked about to you before when I was talking about headset setups, like how you hear me, and you said you hear everything through the headset.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, that's what you just described as a problem.
I mean, I don't think it's a problem for me.
No, you just said I have to adjust my audio because I'm hearing both you and the thing at the same time.
Yeah, but it's not a thing where it's like I can't hear the. I'm like just putting at 54% for the video, so it's fine.
I don't know. It's something I considered because it's what I do when I'm doing my solo stuff. Is instead of listening to it through a TV, I come through here.
Yeah.
Here, as though you don't understand what a headset is. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Anyway, because I get that emotional beat of being able to hear the music and the voices more clearly and everything like that. Whereas when I'm recording with you, I don't know. I have a real problem hearing your voice and the show at the same time. Like I can only focus on one thing, I feel like. So I have to separate you two.
Okay, it's understandable.
I guess it's also the fact that I record you through this. So having you both on the same line would mean I'd be inseparably having you on the same recording.
Yeah.
Just a little behind the scenes there for the audience about how bad I am at this.
Well, 100 billion stars, 100 billion lights.
Gurren Lagann. That's where they go fight the anti-spiral.
宇宙歴794年、帝国歴
Couple months.
485年3月、銀河帝国軍はイゼルロン回廊を抜け、自由惑星
Sorry, 1 month actually.
バンフリート聖域に集結して、
No, sorry, 1 year.
That's a big fleet. Not the biggest.
I'm
probably,
doing the Windows time estimation of figuring out when this is.
せめて中将に昇進すれば1万隻前後の艦隊を指揮する権限を得て戦局全体に影響を与えることも叶うのに。
Oh, right. Now remember for the next time on.
駆逐艦130、砲艦
Still, it's more than one cruiser. Or one destroyer, rather.
どうか焦らないでください。短距離走の速度で長距離を走り抜けることはできないのですから。
I think that's literally what happened at Marathon. So I believe he dies at the end of that for doing that.
そうだ。俺の4倍以上も人生の長い距離を走り、俺の50倍の兵力を持ちながら何らなすところがない。提督どもの平均年齢を上げているだけではないか。
Sounds like a certain set of presidents.
陰湿な印象がないのが利点だな。あ、その平均年齢の高い召喚会議に。
With the high average age, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I mean, it's a rather major change, though. Because remember, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
we were
He's not
back
like
when
fleet
he was like a
commander.
chief navigator, and now he's like
Yeah.
got a fleet of some size,
Yeah.
which we did see on their map. Because I commented on it before.
自然環境が劣悪なため入植が行われておりません。いずれも無人惑星です。その最大の理由は主星である恒星バンフリートが不安定なためであり、これは艦隊の行動にも
Oh, that guy got purple on his face.
Yeah.
特に
Like a burn or
作戦
something.
行動中の各艦隊間の通信はできないものと考えた方がよろしいでしょう。
I wonder if this is going to take us back to,
各艦隊の連携を考
To
え
what?
た上での布陣だ。
can't remember the name of the ice planet. It's the one that is a very scientific name. Because they did tell us that we would come back here for a fight eventually.
お待ちくだされ。
Wow, he can barely stand.
Strom Thurmond has something to say.
後方に下がりすぎております。
K の艦隊は重要な予備兵力として後方に待機し、機会を見て戦闘中域に進出してもらう。
いや、お隠しにならずとも元帥が召喚を邪魔にしておられるのは存じております。召喚のような老いぼれでは何もできぬとお思いなのでしょう。
And retire. You could retire.
老人が生存しているのは酸素の浪費だ。
Wow, Reinhardt, you were so progressive last
他人の
arc.
迷惑にならぬようにすれば万節も汚れまいに。
I mean, I agree that he should retire, but still.
帝国軍のお役に立てぬ身であれば生きていてもかゆわない。この上はせめて自らの使命に決着。
Gonna pull a gun?
He's gonna shoot himself?
潔く
Wow.
退場するとしましょう。まあまあ提督。
Maybe we could have done that before we got our fleets all in a, you know?
余命も長くないことだ。あの老人には好きにやらせてやるように。はあ。
That's it. The Emperor? The Emperor looks old.
銃を収めよう。
No, not as old as this
K
guy.
の艦隊には
Oh, true. But, you know, we've seen him before as much younger.
I don't know. I think I would have used the clever use of wordage in this case. Let him do what he wants. Well, he wanted to shoot himself in the head.
戦局における重要さを瞬時に理解できないのか。これは役不足どころか役者不足というやつだな。
ありがたい。
I think my worry here is that the old man wants to go out in a blaze of glory.
ありがたい。
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna take a lot of people with him.
Oh, Muckenberger.
実際にはグリンメルスハウゼン艦
No, that's the.
戦力外として戦
You
力
remember from like Yang's early shit.
Yeah, yeah.
俺が奴の立場でもそうするだろうが それでは俺まで武君を立てる機会を失ってしまう。
Was he the one who was passing
それで
the?
は次に
Don't
No,
worry,
he
I've
wasn't
got
the one
multiple screens. I'm already looking at the board.
想定されるハントどもの兵
Alright,
力と
pay
その
attention.
婦人
You're clearly going to argue about fleet sizes later. Well, no, Wilhelm von Muckenberger is dead.
グリンメルスハウゼンの処遇には手を焼いているようだ。
So this guy must just be related to
フリードリ
him.
ヒ4世が太閤時代自重武官として
Because Keltring is also fucking dead.
公にはできないような世話を
Who's related to the other Muckenberger.
だから皇帝の信頼が
Who
厚い。
both had a problem with Bruce
威
Ashby.
風堂々が売りのミュッケンベルガーが並行している様子は見ものだったが、笑ってばかりもいられない。厄介払いの巻き添えはごめんだ。なんとかあの老人を操って
Oh, so he's so yeah, he's stuck because he's the commodore under that admiral.
ストファーレンへ接言させてくれ。
承知しました。
Well, I mean, as usual, he's trying to manipulate the situation to get himself ahead.
金髪の小僧は何者だ。
ラインハルト・フォン・ミューゼル准将
Stop calling him Musil. The end of the movie, they changed his name.
グリューネワルト伯爵夫人の弟か。あれがな。
ミューゼル准将はグリンメルスハウゼン艦隊に配属されておりますが、再興なさって
I mean, I anticipate the old man is going to die and he's going to take control. That seems like the obvious
次
thing.
のものをどこに配置するか。宇宙艦隊司令長官たる私がわざわざ配慮せねばならんのか。
失礼いたしました。
Either the Muckenbergers have very sameish eyebrows, or he
Yeah.
does look like Wilhelm, an older version of Wilhelm, but he died, so it couldn't be
このポイント
him.
に砲艦を配置して、それを10時間後にこちらのポイントに移動させれば、実質2倍の働きが期待できるでしょう。
いい意見だ。
グリーンメルスハウゼンのやつ、褒めるだけ褒めておいて、俺の進言を採用しようとはしない。敵意や反感なら慣れてはいるが、こんなぬるま湯を相手にしているような手応えのなさは。
Nothing makes me more pissed than acknowledgement and then ignorance.
キルヒアイス、
Yeah.
現在の帝国では、低能と無能と無知と顔面とか。
I hope there's nobody else in that shuttle because
Well, I can't wait for the old guy to be a genius.
敵も同じような
Yeah.
Like,
It's just
well,
old.
look, I like Reinhard. Reinhard's my dude. I'm drawn as him. But he's getting real angry about some nothing right now.
まったく、俺がせめて元帥だったら、宇宙艦隊司令長官だったら、こんなバカバカしい真似はさせないのにな。
有能な部下の進言を退けるような強力なことはなさいませんか、ラインハルト様。
Exactly.
はい、ラインハルト様。
俺は説教されるのが嫌いだ。
申し訳
but you love giving them. I hate lectures, but I love giving them.
Well, to be fair, we already know this is a top-bottom situation.
Well, well.
冗談だ、キルヒアイス。
分かっております。お気になさら
Those chairs in the back seem way too close together. There's no leg room for anyone behind the front seats.
Yeah, they were like hugging their feet and
Also, remember how incompetent these shuttles were? We saw one just crash into another thing when there was nothing happening.
やれやれ、俺たちも今日までの命だな。
Never get explained what these headsets are about.
76のくたばり損ないで、軍艦隊司令は18のひよっこと来てやがる。お偉方は何を考えているんだか。
平均すれば47だぜ。働き盛りの年齢じゃないか。
アホ、だから平均なんてものは当てにならないんだよ。
無能な上官は敵より憎いってね。
まったくだ。
I like the Imperial Pit design.
I was paying more attention to the pillars. And you can compare this to the bridges of the Alliance ships.
平気さ。遮音力場があるから、向こうの声も聞こえないが、こっちの声も聞こえないさ。
そうか。じゃあ、宮内省の書記にでもなって、舞踏会の世話でもしてりゃいいものを。なんだって殺し合いの場所にシャシャリ出てくるんだが。
Did you know I could hear them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I even heard that part about them thinking that I can't hear them.
文句でも言ってなきゃやってらんねえよ。
まったくだ。
Even if they couldn't hear you, I could probably see you staring at us ominously.
Yeah.
3月21日2時40分、最初の放火が交わされた。
I'm assuming it's 2:40 a.m. because it's probably military time.
だが、ラインハルトの軍艦隊を含むグリンメルスハウゼン艦隊は未だ戦闘に参加していない。
ファイエル。
は？何かおっしゃいましたか？
He's pissed.
なぜ砲撃命令を出さないのか。全体の8割が幽閉と化してしまっているではないか。キルヒアイスならどうする？
そうですね。
I have to think that maybe this is a mirror for the Bruce Ashby stuff. Because you remember there was the Admiral in the Bruce Ashby fight that was like, I'm not being used to the best of my ability, and it forced his way into getting into the fight, and it kind of fucked stuff up, but then Bruce made it work.
それに対する反論を行動によって示そうとしない。これでは蛮色扱いされるのも無理ないというものだ。
ラインハルト様はグリンメルスハウゼン中将の機下にあることをお嘆きになりますが、もっと劣悪な司令官の下で積極的な悪意にさらされる可能性もあるのです。それよりはマシだとお思いください。
Yeah.
またキルヒアイスの好意的解釈が始まった。
Don't be a little bitch. Wait your turn. Basically, that's what he told him.
I mean, like you said, it's true. And there's any number of commanders out there, like, what's his name, that wanted him to take out a cruiser with a destroyer?
Yeah, yeah.
That would get him into a deadly situation. Only 3 hours later. Again, I see it that he's actually taking the time to see what the battle is moving, and then performing action. Y'all got too much of that energy of youth that they're talking about.
Yeah.
なぜこんな位置に足の遅い強襲揚陸艦などを配置するのか。これではこちらの機動力までそがれてしまう。
我々だけではありません。
Well, you just called them slow, so clearly they're moving out ahead to be able to catch up to whatever the planned advance is.
グリンメルスハウゼンには戦術能力以前にそもそも戦いに対する構想力が。
Like I said, this dude's gonna be a fucking genius, and even Reinhardt's gonna get floored.
陸戦部隊のヘルマン・フォン・リューネブルク准将です。
呼び出せ。
強襲揚陸艦部隊と連絡を取れ。
No, he has the face of a bastard.
He's a Marine. I'm surprised he's not dressed up in the death mask uniform thing. Wait, are we talking about the old guy or the or Muckenberger? Can't know which one's the fleet commander and which one is.
Yeah.
Because Muckenberger could be fucking with the old guy just to slow him down. That name sounds familiar. For no reason, apparently, because it's not on my board.
オフレッサーのことをミンチメーカーと呼んで意味嫌っているというが、知っているか？ええ。キルヒアイス、お前ならあのミンチメーカーと戦っても勝てるだろ？
What do you mean, hand to hand? Probably.
Yeah.
謙遜だな。白兵戦では負けたことがないく
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Now he gets it.
Though to be fair, not everyone can go Super Saiyan like Reinhardt can, apparently.
りましたので、ご報告まで。
閣下、司令部の意向をとかく無視しがちなあの小僧をどう処遇なさいますか。
Oh, it was the old man. Asleep?
He's asleep.
No. Okay.
何のことであるかな。
He was asleep.
Could also just be a fake, right?
Yeah.
Pretending to be the doddering old man, so everyone always underestimates you.
ラインハルト・フォン・ミューゼル准将のことであります。グリューネワルト伯爵夫人の弟の総司令部では奴のことを金髪の小僧と言って嘲笑っております。
Thinking.
それはあまり感心せんな。さようでしょうか。金髪だからといって悪いことはない。
Nothing wrong with being a blonde.
若すぎるからといって当人の責任ではないじゃろ。
I mean, conceivably, this guy could have been blonde a long time ago.
悪口の種にするのはあまり感心せんな。
Okay.
I mean, think about this. Reinhardt's over there talking mad shit about this guy. This guy's over here like, don't talk bad about him. Yeah.
ここだ。ここに河川を敷けば、我が軍中央部隊との間に十字砲火網を敷いて敵をなぎ倒すことができるではないか。
I'm guessing this is going to be the arc where Reinhardt learns patience.
Apparently.
You'd think if he has such a long-term plan, patience would be a thing he'd already have.
存在意義？あんな奴らに何の存在意義があるというのだ。敵に不当な勝利を貪らせるのが奴らの存在意義だとでもキルヒアイスは言うのか。そんなところです。
I mean, maybe this is why Reinhardt needs Siegfried. Because imagine what he would do on his own.
Yeah.
なるほどな。キルヒアイス、俺は勝利を望むが、相手の弱体化によってそれが容易になることなどを望んではいない。
What?
ラインハルト様。
Don't you want the enemy to self-destruct?
Well, no. You don't get glory if the enemy kills itself.
表面だけは黄金色に輝いて華麗に見えるが、中は黒く腐食している。
I mean, I think we recognize it would be a good thing regardless, but you don't advance if you don't get credit.
ルドルフ・フォン・ゴールデンバウムが在位していた頃に生まれたかったな。そうすれば敵に不自由しなかったのに。今俺の前にいるのは無能な味方とやはり無能な敵だけだ。このままだとキルヒアイス、俺は10年かそこらで宇宙を手に入れてしまう。
Wow, you're pretty full of yourself.
Now, to be fair, we don't know what year the show starts in. Show could start 10 years later. Reinhardt is the emperor.
言うことだけでかくても滑稽なだけだな。
No, it is. I just said it.
3月24日に入ると戦場は
That
ますま
ship
す
got
混沌と
fucked
した
up.
様相を示し始めた。帝国軍と同盟軍の各部隊がそれぞれに分断し合い、孤立させ合って無秩序に混在し、前線は錯綜して相対的な位置関係を
Those are awfully close for combat.
帝国軍も同盟軍も
Well, we're doing this thing that we constantly do.
Yeah, chasing the tail.
They made it sound like it never happens, but Bruce Ashby did it, and then it's like, it just keeps fucking happening.
成功すれば非常にダイナミックな作戦として戦史に残るであろう。
あくまでも成功すれば。
I guess because only people of note have ever done this.
実はラインハルト様がやってみたくて仕方がない作戦なのではないですか。
ニュッケンベルガーには無理だろう。事実、敵も味方も互いの兵力配置もわきまえず、自分たちの作戦計画だけを強行している。これで
Are you gonna cross the middle? Is that gonna be your plan?
Well, you will be overwhelmed.
軍は何をしておるか。
Because the other people would have to break their position to overwhelm you, in which case then they would be fired upon. God, what's it called in the naval battle when you cross the T? It's like just crossing the T?
Cross the T, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be shot in a cross T situation.
いくら我々が千里にかなった艦隊運動をしても他が呼応しないのでは何にもならん。見ろあれを。
So, I mean, a few units here and there could do it, but you couldn't, like, make it a fleet formation.
Yeah.
キルヒアイス。この海戦に一方的な勝敗はないな。どちらかが兵力を集中させれば一気に敵を撃砕することが叶うのに、双方とも無意味な上海進撃で兵力を分散させてしまっている。こんな連絡の悪い中域で取るべき作戦ではないのだ。
I mean, I guess the thing I would think to do, maybe, is to stop the forces that are pursuing the back end, have them turn, and then slowly all the forces that would merge with them stop, and turn, so that you form a line to the oncoming rebel fleet that would be smaller by comparison.
Yeah. Oh, the difference in the uniforms and oh, there is Yang. You don't even have to see his face.
Didn't expect that he'd be here. I guess maybe that's why this one's going to be so long. It's literally Yang and Reinhardt.
He's also frustrated as well.
このままでは総司令部が手薄だと。しかしこの位置から反転起動すれば帝国軍の本体と直面し、かつ敵の活動体に側面をさらすことになります。ならばそんな命令は無視するに限る。ですが総司令部からの命令に知らん顔はできますまい。返答をどうしますか。
No, it's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking that was Bokak. But Bokak's not an admiral. He was a commodore last we heard. God damn it, that looks just fucking... That looks like Bokak.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, he was a gunner back during Bruce Ashby's fights, who got promoted along the way.
さらにこの海戦の後半の局面において重大な影響を及ぼすことになるのだが、この時点でそれを知る者は誰もいなかった。
Okay.
I guess that's just something that's I've noticed is drags me out is my my memory of the boards. Like I know that guy, and then I look away for a second to like figure out who the fuck is this. I know this person.
Oh, this is a change ending because the ending was not like.
Well, legitimately, it's the longest storyline, so it must have its own ending.
Yeah.
Also, I think this is the final. Oh, it said Bokak in the. Yeah, so that was Bokak. Also, explaining what a recent densetsu is. Yeah, no, I would say this is the final series of episodes, the final arc of this season of Gaiden. So, unlike Labyrinth, Spiral Labyrinth, which was the start of its. It's funny though. I mean,
I would say raison d'être, but that's just me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. We all know what it means, even though they also explained it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess he's just a commander then? He's a junior officer? He's not in command of anything, I guess, Yang.
I mean...
He's not yet.
Hold on, they did tell us what Yang would be by now, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. I think he was a commander, a full commander.
The difficulty, I searched my timeline in the wrong order. I was going... Search up. Let's see. What is the year? 484 now? Hold on. Next time on, right?
Yeah.
総司令部から厄介払いされたグリンメルスハウゼン艦隊は前線とは程遠い衛星ワンフリート4-2に向かう。だがそこにはすでに同盟軍の後方支援基地ができていた。それを指して偵察に伝とするラインハルトの前に現れる陸戦の専門家リューネブルク。果たして敵か味方か。次回銀河英雄伝説外伝戦国の光第2話ドライロット。男たちの野望が銀河をかける。
It's funny because he's like, what do we need these what do we need these assault forces for? And then boom, it's like it was already planned out. My last note about Yang is from the 5th Battle of Isolon. Yang is still a lieutenant commander. Attenborough is now a lieutenant. So
interesting.
I mean, before that, 3 years prior, Yang Wenli assigned to the 8th Fleet's strategy department. I forget if they said what fleet he was under there.
Yeah. But again, he's still sitting with his, sitting against the wall, going like, "Yeah, there's nothing to do with me."
Most of us in the modern world call that leaning.
Yeah.
If you're sitting,
yeah, you'll be on the floor. Yeah.
You're sitting against a wall. You've got some gravity problems.
Which in space, if the gravity goes wrong, might work.
I mean, no. Because if everyone is dedicated to consoles that face a specific direction and your gravity goes off, and I don't think I've seen a single chair on an Alliance bridge, you're not going to have anything to keep yourself control the console. In fact, the loss of gravity means every button push is pushing you away from the controls.
No, but I mean, if the ship goes, the gravity goes sideways, he could sit on the wall.
Well, if the gravity goes sideways, the wall would become the floor.
Yeah.
Because the floor is whatever direction gravity is pointing towards.
I guess. Although not design-wise, but still.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between... Look, I am not a fan of architectural intent, right? Who are they to tell me what these walls, floors, and ceilings are designed for?
Sure.
Those racist assholes. Let me tell you about Orson Scott Card's house design.
Yeah, that's a pit of vipers right there.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. So this episode, it's
an unexpected gem.
Really?
I really liked it. You didn't enjoy it as much?
I mean, it was Reinhard just bitching throughout the entire episode.
I'm waiting for it to have a come-up moment. Like, I'm waiting for Reinhard to be taught a valuable lesson. Especially because it's so clearly a lesson episode to me. Not you lesson, but an episode where Reinhardt has to learn a lesson. God damn it, your name. Because he, like you said, he's bitching, which is uncharacteristic. One, well, not really. He has been getting a lot bitchier lately.
Yeah, more exasperated with everything. Yeah,
but typically you don't go from last episode of this is the merit and value of a person who was the number one of his class, and you mock him for this thing when you should have been better, to this old man is a waste of air. He should have died a long time ago. It is such a hard shift that it has to be a learning thing for Reinhardt on like patience or whatever the fuck they're planning. The fact that they're shifting to a planetary assault has me worried that maybe it's not going to be, but I'm hoping it is, because I feel like Reinhardt needs that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that Yang is here, but I'm just to indicate to why it's a gem of an episode, that it's an unexpected crossover that we only got in the movie so far. Now it's happening in the episode, and we know it's a very long arc, which means that this was just unexpected out of nowhere. It's a happy, not coincidence, it's a happy little fun time thing.
Happy little fun time, yeah. I will say the old man was hardcore. It's like, well, if you're not, I'll blow my brains out right here. Like, damn, dude, what the fuck?
I will indicate to you that your old man impression some of that sits beneath your audio pickup.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know what part of it, because obviously I didn't hear it.
I was saying that the old man pulled his gun and his temple was about to blow his brains out, in front of everybody.
I mean, we both
Like,
saw it
that's
coming, though.
Yeah. Like,
if I
what
can't
the
be of
fuck?
use to the Imperial fleet, then I'd have no point being alive. It's like, what's he reaching for? It's got to be a gun, right? Oh,
Yeah,
no,
no.
it's a gun.
Yeah. Tic Tacs. He was reaching for the Tic Tacs.
Well, I mean, we also got the scene of the Emperor, or sorry, we keep saying Emperor, Kaiser. The Kaiser talking to Muckenberger, just let him do what he wants. So, like I said, to do a clever usage of words, he wanted to shoot himself in the head. All I did was suggest that he wasn't going to be useful. I didn't say he wasn't going to be useful.
Yeah, but I think that would have violated the spirit of the of the instructions rather than the letter.
Well, then you better hope you win the fight.
Yeah.
He decided that the council chambers would be better painted in a red color.
Yep.
And he got on top of that go-getter that he was.
To the very end. Literally.
I don't know. Like you said, the fact that Reinhard is bad-mouthing him to the ends of the earth, and then he's on his ship like, well, being blonde isn't so bad. And I'd hate if people were like shit-talking me for my age.
Yeah.
Just take a nap.
He was like, don't be an idiot.
Like I said, I have to think that he is... I can't tell. It's hard to tell if an old man is an old man or if he's just playing up his age. Because who are you fooling but literally the people around you? The enemy can't see you. The enemy doesn't know who you are. Although it does seem like sometimes they do know who the commanders of the enemy fleets are, but I have to think that the person being held at the back for reserves is the least of your worries. Like maybe somebody has like an intelligence dossier on, well, who's that back there? Who's not oh, that's the old man admiral. Not well known for charging ahead. So I don't think we have to be worried.
I'm disappointed that ended up in the same formation they tried to do before. The whole, chased dragon, the tail, the cat's tail kind of thing.
So what I was saying was, if you take the okay, you have your formation, right? You take the front line, you stop, and you start turning those ships around, and then all the ships that are coming, you form into formation. Like as they reach that line that the back of yours is forming. You've stopped attacking the back end of the rebel ships, of course. So that's the trade-off here. But as the front end that doesn't know what your back end is doing, because obviously the back end of the rebel fleet is going to be in instant communication with the front end. You have formed a line of all of your entire fleet to the oncoming wave of the rebel forces, which is going to be so much smaller than the entirety of the fleet, literally walking into a meat grinder.
Yeah.
That seems to me to be the solution to the Mobius strip that is the circle fight.
Yeah.
Because it also doesn't have the same consequences, the thing we were talking about of crossing the middle. That if you cross the middle and you're the first one, then both ends of the rebel fleet could conceivably turn inwards and just start mowing you down from both sides.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my solution to the circle.
Yeah. There we go. I think the circle forms because one side wants to attack the flank and outflank them. And so they have to move ships there so they weaken their rear. So the other side then says, oh, they're weak in their rear. Let's attack them there. So they keep chasing their weak sides and never connect.
I mean, I don't think there's any question of how it happens. Like, I got into that same situation all the time when I was playing the dogfighting games, right? the old Red Baron game. You'd go after the Red Baron, you chase him, but the Red Baron's also fucking chasing you, so you're just doing a right turn for like the entire fucking game. I know I said right turn and then I leaned left. Anyway, just doing a right turn the entire fucking game, trying to get his ass on your screen so you can shoot him. Same thing with I can't remember the maneuver. Modern day jet fighters, where you're basically doing a double spin throughout the air trying to catch the other one, and you end up going straight up as a result.
That's a vertical scissors.
Yeah, like so whatever it's called.
So you're going like this. So you're trying to corner him, so it goes like this, and he cuts into you. So
I would point out that your hands are below the screen.
So it's like this. You start like this, and then you start crossing like this because you're trying to get to his flank or rear, and he cuts into you, so you overshoot, and then reverses again. So the thing about a vertical scissors is that you lose power, right? So whoever loses power first loses because they fall back.
Yeah, you fall into a dive, and the other person falls back. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the modern parlance of this maneuver in aero fights.
Yeah.
I would also point out that if you had directional cephal particles, you would just lay them out behind you and the other guy would be fucked. We also know that they have fucking mines. We saw that before in the Defector episode. So conceivably, the back end of the Rebel fleet or the back end of the Imperial fleet could just like drop mines.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you could also filter out the back end. Accelerate speed on your back-end ships, slow down some of the front ones, so that you can rotate mine layers and just totally fuck up their front end of the... Like, this should be impossible. Not the mine lane thing. This should be an impossible thing, the circle, because there should be so much shit affecting the front people.
Yeah.
Mines and whatnot, they have fighter craft. We've seen it before. That they should not be unharassed doing this. They should want to veer off because they're taking so much frontal damage. But it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be whoever is in the front is just firing unchallenged into the asses of the fleet in front of them.
Yeah, and also the fact that this is in space. Remember, you're saying the circle, right? But that's a horizontal fight. The way you win that is actually you go up. Well, so the person passes, and then you reverse.
You say that, but we have also established that this is a semi-realistic space thing, which is to say, it's long. It takes a long time. So you start going up, everyone's going to see that you're angling, and they're going to have time to respond, and you're just going to be chased up. You're going to be now in a cone.
A spiral like this.
Yeah. I would argue that the obvious thing here is that there's only so many of the front position ships that are going to be able to attack the back end of the ships in front of them.
Yeah.
And there's only so many for both sides, which means there's an entire middle section of your fleet that can't attack anybody, that should, by default, automatically pivot to either turn around or cross the middle or something, because otherwise they are completely ineffectual to the entirety of the fight.
I think the way you would break this up is you would have like smaller fleets that would dart in and out, faster ships perhaps, to raid the other side, probably with fighters, like you said, and disrupt them. So they, and the idea is to isolate aspects of, so they're not one long line. You actually isolate those blocks, and if you do that, then you can destroy one block, then another.
Well, my point about this never being never happening in the first place is that everything both of us have said towards how you would get out of this should have been the default of how we never wound up in it in the first place. The moment we started circling, those middle ships would realize, following the ships in front of us gives us no battle effectiveness whatsoever. We need to not turn that way. We need to turn directly towards the middle to attack this. Essentially what Reinhardt was saying in the middle of this episode before they got into the circle is that we need to turn, so we're attacking the sides of the ships that that our other fleet is following. They're attacking their asses. We're going to attack them on the side. So it should be a bunch of, I don't know what to call it, arrow formations, where you have the enemy fleet, and then you have two of your own and one behind, attacking them from multiple angles. So you would never go into a circle. You'd be constantly breaking off and reattaching.
Yeah. Although in this situation, because of bad communications coordinating and all that.
Well, we saw that from the Alliance side, where they said we had to send ships to be able to communicate with one another.
Yeah.
Which I guess would imply that you will only be able to communicate backwards. Because if you're all moving forwards in a circle, you would only be the front ships would only be able to drop communications backwards. I'm assuming that the communication ships wouldn't be as fast as the fleet would be. Which means that you could only tell people behind you what to do. This is one of those mind puzzle. I can't think of words anymore. One of the brain teasers. I can't think of, it's like a hat one. I can't remember the name of it. Where you can only see the person in front of you, and you can't turn around. So two people are wearing a hat, and you have to figure out if the person in front of you or the person behind you is wearing a hat. And also, you can't tell if you're wearing a hat. So it's literally a game where you figure out how much information can you know and how much information can the other people around you know. So that you have to gamble on somebody else knowing information and not you.
Yeah.
So if I could remember the name of it, the mind teaser, the mind palette, I don't know where it's not coming. If I could remember the name of it, I'd bring it up because it did stump me for the longest time. And then I saw the answer. I'm like, this isn't right. And then I thought about it for like another hour. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Because even knowing the answer, it doesn't seem intuitive.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the way you have to think if you want to like win an anime. Well, because it's always full of characters who are like super geniuses who automatically think that way to be able to figure out what you'll know. And you're like, how the fuck could you possibly know what I know? And they'll be like, oh, because of this situation and that situation, which if you logic them out, you could only know these things based on where you are and what you can see. I'm like, can't argue. That is what I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you have it. This first episode of a relatively long arc.
Well, a spiral labyrinth.
Yeah. But there we have it.
All right. Well, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?